Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. I'm so excited to have Miss Tara Renze on with us, an amazing lady doing some great things to make a positive difference in our world. I'm so excited to highlight her and her journey. So first, Tara, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles.
Chip, I'm so honored to be here. And I just have to give you a huge kudos for having this podcast for over 9 years. What episode am I actually? Do you know?
I don't know the exact number, but you will be probably in the mid 400s.
That is absolutely amazing. I started a
Yeah.
podcast this year, so I
Mhm.
know how much time and commitment it takes to really make that work. And man, you are probably in like the top 1% of all podcasts historically to have that
Mhm.
many episodes. So congratulations.
And thank you so much. The one thing um, about me that I strive to give is consistency, right? If I'm going to do something, I want to do it and give my all to it and be consistent with it, or I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and you know what? I found that consistency drives performance
For
more than
sure.
talent or anything. Like when we're consistent, what happens? We get better.
Mhm.
We get used to things and it really moves the
Yes.
needle. And consistency is what creates confidence, I believe. So,
No doubt. That is amen right there. No doubt. I think, I always say, weight term reps make you better, right? And
yep,
when you can get the reps, you learn so much about whatever it is you're doing. You learn so much about yourself, and you show
absolutely.
yourself that you can do great things, which excites you to keep doing it. And just in talking about that, I love the fact that I get to talk to amazing people and learn something, every time I interview. Like it's exciting
Yeah.
for me. And
Yeah.
then, I get to share that with the world so we all get better. And
I love it. I
so
love
it's
it.
so cool. And this one will be right on that, on the money with that too. So let's dive into it.
Let's do it.
All right. So, if you don't mind, I know off air we talked a little bit about your journey and what you do, but if you don't mind, share some of that with the audience so they have an idea of of who you are
Yeah.
and what it is you do.
So I am a author, a professional keynote speaker, an international keynote speaker, and I'm also an emotional intelligence practitioner, an emotional intelligence expert. So my message is be who you came to be. And that was inspired by a note that my 87-year-old grandmother wrote to my newborn son the week that he was born. And that note was written almost 2 decades ago. And this note really shaped my life. It shaped how I have raised my children, and it's now gone on to empower tens and thousands of people across the globe. And I used this "Be Who You Came to Be" when I was at working, and and also personally. And what I saw, Chip, was that when you tell someone to be who they came to be, it gives them some pause. They think about themselves very differently. They start to really tap into this self-regard that they have. And it changed the way they approach the most important work and relationships in their life. So after almost a decade of sharing it with my personal network and my professional network, I was like, I have to take this message to the masses because I've seen how it changes so many different people's lives. And so it's been fun to carry out my grandmother's legacy with this note. And it's a simple yet very profound and thought-provoking advice, and I'm lucky to call this my work.
So good. I think it's empowering too. Uh, and I've put that in be who you came. Man, that is so good.
It is, you have to imagine as a new mom, when I read that letter, 17, it was 17 and a half years ago. I have a son who's a junior. And, I was holding this little baby and I read the note out loud. And she said, "Be who you came to be. Love will guide you." And as a new mother, it took my breath away. And I remember looking at this 1 week old baby that my husband and I had created by God's will to have this child. And I kept, I was looking at him and I thought, oh my gosh, be who you came to be. Like, how lucky am I that I get to be your mom and watch all of your gifts and talents and authenticities and passions and purpose. And, I just remember like daydreaming of like, what's he going to look like? Is he going to have blonde hair or dark hair? And now, he's 17 and a half. And I've seen this message specifically, really resonate in his life. And as a mother, you know, that letter first and foremost spoke to me as a mom of like, hey, this is my mission as a mother is to help both of my boys be who they came to be, not who I want them to be, not who their dad wanted them to be, not who the world wanted them to
Come
be,
on,
to
Tara.
find out specifically what drives them, what is their purpose, what is their passion, what are they, what fulfills them in life. And it's been this amazing guiding light as a parent, but it's also then given them the vision of be who they came to be, and it's fundamentally changed the way they approach their lives, their academics, their sports, their relationships. So it was such a powerful message that I had to make it my life's work. And it's so fun to see the message come to life and to actually bring life to people because I think a lot of people question their worth and they question if they're enough and they question if they matter. And the Be Who You Came to Be message is that we all matter and we all have purpose and we're all on this earth, I believe, for a very, very specific reason. And that God gave us all our unique talents and authenticities and flaws and everything so that we can find out who that person is that we came to be. And it's our lifelong mission. And the thing is it's also not a destination, right? It's this notion that we're always a work in progress. Like be who you came to be is just as relevant for an 18-year-old as it is a 68-year-old.
I have one word in response to all of that you just gave, and that word is boom. Let's go. Oh, wait, that was three
Yeah,
words.
let's go for
Let's
sure. I mean,
go, man. I love it. It guides your purpose. I love how you broke it down, how, like it gives you a shift, I think, in mindset too.
yeah,
Because now you view things different. Your perspective is different. And now you're going to attack your calling, your destiny.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love it. Well, what are three things you've accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
Obviously, I'm a mother, and I
Hmm.
say that that's my most important and my favorite role in life. And my boys are by far my best accomplishment, along with my husband. And I'm so proud of them every day. On Women's History, we had Women's History Month and International Women's Day, and people were like, "What's your proudest accomplishment?" And I kept thinking, work stuff, and then by far, I was like, you know what? It's these two boys that I have raised to be strong men, to love and respect women. They have incredible relationships. And I think that that's the future for, specifically for working women. I'm a working mom. I've always been an ambitious working woman. And the best thing that we can do is raise our youth and raise our boys to create space at tables for women so that we can continue to show up. And so, um, my dad and mom did that for me, and so I think passing that on, and it's just this level of respect for not just for women but for people in general. And so that's by far my best accomplishment ever. I would say, Chip, second off is obviously my marriage with my husband and my relationships. I have a simple thing that I say to myself all the time. We take care of our relationships. first off, it shows you what matters most and who matters most. And it's about going above and beyond. And it's about being, accepting and loving and patient and forgiving and all those things. And so, obviously being married for 24 years is an accomplishment in and of itself, but it's not just my relationship with my husband, but the relationships that I have with family and with friends. I'm really proud of the people in my life and the relationships that we have. And then obviously the third thing would be, starting this business, authoring a book. I have a children's book as well that I co-authored with my mom. And I'm really proud of the work. I'm proud of taking such a simple message that when I first started off, people were like, you're going to make a whole living out of be who you came to, challenging people and empowering them to be who they came to be. And I was like, I absolutely am. And that was, over 7 years ago. And just to see the message grow into what it's been and how it changes lives is something that I will forever remain humble for. And I'm just so blessed to get to do this work.
So good. Just hearing you, well, let me go back. You know, that relationship deal, you shared a quote, but I want to share a quote with you too. When anyone talks relationships, I always share this because this is so good. So I heard this quote from one of my former pastors, and when I heard it, it gave me chills. So I want to share it. It said, life moves at the speed of our relationships.
That's beautiful.
Hmm. And you think about it, those people that are doing great things, they have great relationships in their lives. Those
They
people that
do.
are not doing so well, they probably need better relationships in their lives. And so, I think it goes in alignment with, what you talked about with the relationship piece.
Yeah, it
Um,
is. I think that that's such a something that so many people, overlook is like
mhm.
your overall general well-being and happiness is so tied to who you're spending time with and who you're allowing in your life. And, I think that we have this desire for acceptance so much that we want to be liked versus finding the people who actually love us and like us for exactly who we are. And that is so much of the Be Who You Came to Be mission is to be like, hey, you're not going to be for everyone. And that's totally okay. Like being who you came to be means finding the people that are your raving fans that love you for you. And then you doing the same for them. But it's also just this permission slip for all of us to be different and for us to be unique and then to honor that within other people. But relationships are a direct reflection of our overall mental well-being. And, I always say, like, if you leave a group of people and you feel great, or you leave of people and you don't feel great, like that's your exact gauge of how you should be, the people that you need more of in your life and the people that you need less of.
So good, Tara. So good. Well, just hearing you talk about your journey, hearing you discuss the things that you're proud of, I would consider that to be hugely successful. So let's hit on success. What is your definition of success?
It's changed so much over the years. And as I've
Hmm.
aged up, we'll call it aging up, Chip.
So I caught that.
Older and wiser. It is definitely a true thing. I think for so long it was success was for me just being an ambitious, person.
Hmm.
It was get the job, make more money, drives. I have background in sales and sales leadership. And as I've continued to age and, I've had relationships and I've been on a grief journey and I've had all these things happen in my life, what I've realized is success is living a fulfilled life. And when we think about the most fulfilling things in our life, they're not the easy things. The relationships that we love, the work that requires us to be tenacious and patient and, leading individuals to be their best. All of those things are not easy. Fundamentally, the hardest stuff in life, I guarantee you, you will also find to be the most fulfilling things in your life. And what I found is that when we focus on living a fulfilled life, two things happen. One, we actually create genuine happiness in our life. We're not trying to manufacture it. We're not trying to, to choose it. We actually get to experience genuine happiness because it's built on doing fulfilling things and having fulfilling relationships. But it also is what creates epic amounts of success in our life, doing the hard thing, staying consistent, like we talked about early on in the podcast, being persistent, being tenacious, all those things. That's what drives success. And that's what drives fulfilling things in our lives. So I have that shift in my mindset of like, I always ask myself, like, is this fulfilling? And every time I answer yes, that's what drives that, it's always a success outcome out of that. It's always a happiness outcome out of that. And it's just this great gauge I use in my life of asking myself, like, is this fulfilling? Like, is this worth continuing to do? And we never walk away from fulfilling things.
That's good. Give me a second because I need to put that in my notes. I'm going to share that. That's so good. Because I don't know, just as you were saying that, like all of those things are in alignment with what I believe in, right? Like wholeheartedly, and those are in alignment with the things that I've seen and experienced in my life. I say this, when you talked about doing the hard things, I think um, the your maximum growth is on the other side of your toughest challenges, right?
100%.
So like the toughest things that we grow through in our life uh, brings about ultimate fulfillment, brings about ultimate success that you talked about. And I love that's a great question to ask ourselves. Is this fulfilling? But I think it also allows us to stay in line with our morals too. Right? I was thinking
Yes.
about you talking about with your sons and raising a family and like those kind of things. Like when you can have things that you ask yourself, self, what are you doing? Right? Like, is this
Right.
fulfilling?
Yes.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
what do you, man? Come on.
Asking yourself if it's fulfilling will always show you what matters most.
Hmm.
Always shows you what matters most. And like you said, if it's not in line with your values and where you want to be spending your time, it's not going to be fulfilling.
Yeah.
And it's just such an easy compass to follow in life.
So good. Well, as we get closer to closing, I'd love for you to get an opportunity to, share with the audience where they can go follow you, check you out, get those books and show you some love.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's tararenze.com. It's TARARENZE. And that is my social handle everywhere. It's at Tara Renze. So YouTube is Tara Renze, Instagram's Tara Renze, LinkedIn is Tara Renze. That is where you will find me. And Chip, I was Tara Johnson for 24 years, and I joke that was a much more generic name. So Tara Renze, you hear it and you won't forget it. So
I love it. Tara Renze. That's so good. Well, again, just thank you so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles. I truly appreciate it, and I wish you continued success.
you too, Chip. Thanks for having me on your show.
Thank you. And thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.